tongue is just a soft flesh with no bones, but is capable of breaking the strongest bonds and most powerful relationships. I repeat, the tongue is just a soft flesh with no bones, but is capable of breaking the strongest bones and most powerful relationships. Good morning. I want to say a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you out there that are watching us live on TV. Those of you who are watching us through any cable company, whether it be MSR on the French side, WTN, Tel TV Plus here on the Dutch side, or even Dutch Caribbean TV with our brothers and sisters in Curaçao, Aruba, and Bonaire. We want to say good morning, Moru, bon dia. We also want to recognize those of you who are watching us on Facebook Live. Those of you who gave your comments, I want to thank you for that. I want to say a special thanks to each and every one of you. We are live in, broadcasting through Madam Estate. And we're just elated that you are here with us. As you can see, we have a beautiful scenery. Yes, this is St. Martin. So we want to say good morning to you, first of all. Brenda.
Sí, así es. Muy buenos días, Prim. Buenos días a toda nuestra audiencia que está en sintonía con El Mundo a las 7. Gracias por estar siempre ahí tempranito, esperándonos a nosotros aquí para traerles todas las informaciones del lugar. Le damos los buenos días y la bienvenida a todo el que está en casita a través de WTN, todo el que está a través de Tel TV Plus y en el lado francés a través de MSR. Todo el que está en la isla de Curazao, Aruba y Belice, muy buenos días. Todo el que está en la isla de Bonaire a través de Dutch Caribbean TV, buenos días a todos ustedes. Y en las personas que están a través de las redes sociales en San Martín, en Ceiba, en Estesia, en Anguila, en Sembat, Senquí, San Tomás, San Croix, Puerto Rico, República Dominicana, buenos días. Estamos pre-San Martín.
Yeah.
Pre-San Martin Day.
Yes. Tomorrow is St. Martin's Day, but all the schools are celebrating it. A lot of institutions are celebrating what is called St. Martin's Day today. Why is it? Because, hey, we're off tomorrow. So there will not be any program here. The World at 7 will not be on air, as it is a custom of ours that we are not broadcasting through public holidays or whatsoever, sticking with, what is that. However, we want to say to all the school children, all the parents that are sending their children to school dressed up in different St. Martin attire, whether it might be t-shirts or colloquial wear, we want to say a special pre-St. Martin's Day celebration to each and every one of you.
Disculpa, cuando venía en camino, había muchos niños con los t-shirts, los poloches ya preparados, parece que tienen alguna actividad en el día de hoy en la escuela, con sus t-shirts de San Martín. Ya la mayoría de los niños que vienen en el camino, así que están vestidos en el día de hoy.
Brandon, do you remember this year, there weren't much people who were celebrating St. Martin's Day. Usually, we come together. It's either we host it, the French side host it, or the Dutch side host it. However, last year, because we were in the midst of COVID pandemic, people refrained from gathering, and rightfully so. This year we see more and more people are, gathering and saying, hey, we want to come together, whether it's through prayer. I know Gromikio Wilson, 721 News, is advocating a day of prayer, whether it's through celebrations. However, I must note, Brenda, that right now there are people who just couldn't wait to celebrate St. Martin's Day. So with their t-shirts, their flags on their cars, on the bonnets of
Sí, yo he
their
visto
cars.
muchas banderas en los carros.
Yeah. It's getting warm. You know, people are just getting any excuse, and especially St. Martin Day, to enjoy themselves. So we want to say Happy St. Martin's Day, or pre-St. Martin's Day celebration to each and every one.
Bueno, vamos a seguir alentando a las personas a la celebración del Día de San Martín, que es mañana. Así que mañana no hay ninguna actividad oficial, todavía no he visto ningún schedule, ningún listado de las actividades oficiales que habrá para el día de mañana, Prince.
No, I haven't seen any official scheduling or any meeting point, whether it's going to meet on the Dutch side or on the French side. What is noteworthy is the fact that the ongoing unrest on the French side. I don't think that if it was to be held on the French side, that that would be realized. Why? I guess they don't want it to stir up any other inconveniences. Secondly, I have
Pero
seen.
la ofrenda floral, ¿quién la hará este año? ¿Lado francés o lado holandés?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, remember last year they had none. Okay, but I am going to say that I read on the Honorable Sarah Westcott's Facebook page, and she was suggesting that instead of the leaders of both islands go and have speeches and lay wreaths, they should come together in in a maybe not a secret place, but come together with no lights, whistles, and horns, and hash out the problems that we have. How can we combat it? Because to be quite honest, we're still in COVID-19. All right, we are still in COVID-19. Do you understand that? Therefore, that's how I think it should be. Some people just wrote on her Facebook page, "Oh, where'd it go, chair lady? And where'd it go?" Even though she's not chair lady, where'd it go, my prime minister, and stuff. So let's see how this comes on.
Las personas se están preparando, piensan que mañana habrá alguna actividad como algún desfile y eso. Me han estado llamando para preguntarme, yo no, que hasta donde yo sepa no hay ningún desfile. No sabemos todavía si va a haber una ofrenda floral en las fronteras, así que vamos a esperar el día de hoy. Recuerda que hoy es el briefing también, a ver cuáles serán las decisiones que van a tomar en relación al día de mañana.
All right, that's a great point. We should expect some kind of briefing from the press briefing that is done, the government press briefing. We should expect some kind of information, but up to now, I haven't received any communication, whether it's stating that the celebration is taking part on which day or which part. Also, I haven't had any communication where wreaths or prayers are taken or done. So we must be mindful and check it out. But what I do know is that St. Martin's Day, regardless if you are for or against it, is going to take place tomorrow. And one thing I know is that the government issued, or the Council of Ministers issued Friday also a holiday, which is normal. If St. Martin Day fell on a Thursday, they would issue the Friday.
No, es
It's for civil workers, yes, for civil servants.
sí, para el viernes no van a estar trabajando las personas del gobierno porque harán puente, como nosotros llamamos normalmente.
Yeah. Okay. We should all follow protocols of wearing masks and maintaining some social distancing while attending large gatherings. That's for sure. COVID-19, it doesn't matter if it's St. Martin's Day or not, The point of COVID is to infect as much people as it can. Esther, that's me. I love St. Martin's Day. What happened? No activities this year, man? Choose. Okay? Maria Crispin is saying, prayers. Happy pre-St. Martin, Christopher Columbus discovery with the 3 ships, Nina, Pinta, and the Santa Maria. and Sunila is stirring up controversy again. Fleming GG, good morning, people. Maria Crispin Dutch Quata.
Ooh.
And she's putting up her flag, St. Martin Day, or not St. Martin Day, St. Martin flag, and the Dominican flag, but saying Dutch Quata. Okay? Esther Durant Casimir, yes, but the numbers are down, man. I always look forward for St. Martin Day. So sad. Esther, you know what's so strange about that? A lot of people are saying, yes, but the numbers are down. And when the numbers go back up because of gatherings, and then we're like, oh my God, the government can't do anything. Why did they, so it's a flip coin, I think that it's great if we have all the precautionary measures until we're out of the woods, okay? We should and follow protocols of wearing masks and maintaining some social distancing when attending large gatherings. So here you go. Just a church service and the rest a virtual celebration. Estelita, do you have any communication on that? All right. And Esther Durant Casimir is putting up her flags, putting up her flag. Europeans, indoctrination, and twisted history. Make a pledge to pay to a fair share of taxes this St. Martin Day. Hosting a flag up and alone does not do good to the country. All right. So that's how we feel. Brenda, we do have some headlines that we would like to give in, and because we have to continue with the morning news. And we start with 8 COVID-19 recoveries today.
Así es. Iniciamos con 8 recuperaciones de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
All right, MP Boncamper asked unions to assist as primary stakeholders with recovery and legislation matters.
También tenemos el diputado Boncamper pide a los sindicatos que ayuden como parte interesada principal en asuntos de recuperación y legislación.
Minister Utley, the complete chain, and this comes from the St. Martin Island Times.
Así es, ministro Utley, la cadena completa. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
St. Martin tourism officials monitors developments on the northern side of the island.
Tenemos que los funcionarios de turismo de San Martin monitorean los desarrollos en el lado norte de la isla. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
Detention suspended for Haitian suspects. This is the investigation concerning the 2 police officers, and the name of this case is Hyacinth.
Así es, tenemos la detención suspendida para sospechosos de Hyacinth. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
Schools and college closed, or should I say college, closed in French Quarter on Tuesday. This comes from the Daily Herald.
Así es, escuelas y colegios cerrados en French Quarter en el día de hoy. Esto es fuente del Daily Herald.
Right, and we begin with our COVID numbers for today.
Así iniciamos con el desarrollo de las informaciones y tenemos que para el 9 de noviembre 3 personas dieron positivo de COVID-19. Sin embargo, 8 personas se han recuperado, disminuyendo el total de casos activos a 22. El número total de casos confirmados es ahora de 4.520. Los servicios de prevención colectivas, con sus siglas CPS, están monitoreando a 22 personas en aislamiento domiciliario. No hay pacientes hospitalizados en San Martin Medical Center y el número total de muertes por COVID-19 sigue siendo de 75. El número de personas recuperadas desde que apareció el primer caso en San Martin ha aumentado a 4.423. 26 personas están en cuarentena según las investigaciones de rastreos de contactos realizadas por el CPS. A medida que las cifras sigan fluctuando, el CPS continuará ejecutando activamente sus medidas de rastreos de contacto. El ministro Utley continúa alentando a todos a usar sus mascarillas para así reducir los contactos sociales y desinfectarse o lavarse las manos con frecuencia.
As of November 9th, there were 3 persons who tested positive for COVID-19. However, 8 persons have recovered, bringing the total active cases to 22. The total number of confirmed cases is now 4,520. The collective prevention services are monitoring 22 people in home isolation. 0 patients are hospitalized at the St. Martin Medical Center. I'm happy to hear that 0 patients are hospitalized. The number of people recovered since the first case surfaced on St. Martin has increased. As the numbers continue to fluctuate, CPS will continue to actively execute its contact tracing measures. Minister Utley continues to encourage everyone to wear your mask, reduce social contact, and sanitize or wash your hands frequently. That is still recommended. It was recommended before COVID-19, and after COVID-19 or during COVID-19, it has been propelled to another level. So a lot of people are still trying to, reduce social contact. They're still sanitizing. There's still sanitizing stations at different supermarkets, public places, and even at Prime, we see where you wash your hands physically. So that's the thing to do. Let us be mindful that this is the thing to do.
Así es, los casos están disminuyendo.
Yeah.
Gracias, estamos en 22. Volvimos a un tiempecito atrás que los casos habían estado a este nivel. Y gracias a Dios no tenemos ningún paciente hospitalizado en San Martin Medical Center. Debemos continuar usando las mascarillas en los sitios públicos, tratando de mantenernos a distancia en las actividades sociales y haciendo lavado de las manos o higienizándonos las manos constantemente.
All right. MP Boncamper asked unions to assist as primary stakeholder with recovery and legislation matters. This story comes from the St. Martin Island Times. Thank you, Brenda.
Así es, gracias. El diputado Boncamper pide a los sindicatos que ayuden como parte interesada principal en asuntos de recuperación y legislación. Esto es fuente de St. Martin Island Times.
On Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021, members of Windward Island Chamber of Labor Union, WICLU, met with the members of the Central Committee of Parliament and delivered a presentation seeking the attention of Parliament for urgent legislation to better protect the economic, social, and financial rights of workers. During the presentation, several topics plaguing workers on the island were brought to the forefront. Based on the union's presentation, MP Boncamper posed several questions to the representatives of the WICLU to get their views on how to arrive at a balanced and tangible decision-making process that will benefit all stakeholders in an equal and fair manner, and not that the efforts and actions taken or to be taken will benefit one group and have a negative effect on another. A comparison between sole proprietorship and business and V's ownership was made during a presentation whereby it was mentioned that in the case of sole proprietorship, the funds generated remain on the island. MP Boncamper said that he agrees to some extent and asked what ideas the WICLU has that Parliament or government should follow in order to keep the funds from moving off island. For example, the big business that are owned by foreign investors. The MP said that he is curious to know what the views of WICLU are on immigration matters and whether they consider it a serious problem in the country. Well, we all know that the island suffers from undocumented workers holding down jobs that registered citizens could occupy. This problem is growing graver by the day and affects the economy harder during these difficult times. MP Boncamper told the WICLU representatives and asked what the union's position or possible solution is to this growing concern as it affects their membership directly. That the food basket has to be broadened to protect the markup of prices is very unfortunate and needs to be addressed by government most urgently, MP Boncamper noted. Our island depends on the importation of goods where food is concerned. It appears that the only tangible cost that can be adjusted to lower food prices is the personnel cost. MP Boncamper admitted that after the passing of Hurricane Irma, several organizations and individuals resorted to growing their own produce, baking and cooking to consume or to sell to third parties to generate extra income and to avoid being confronted with high markup prices and thereby avoiding locally generated funds going abroad. The MP stated that many people saw the need to start their own little garden in their yard, and instead that we need to continue growing our own local produce and go back to the days when our forefathers and parents used to fish. Fishery, the MP said, is a very profitable market and should be exploited.
Así es, los miembros de la Cámara del Sindicato de las Islas del Barlovento, con sus siglas WICLU, se reunieron con los miembros de la Comisión Central del Parlamento e hicieron una presentación solicitando la atención del Parlamento sobre la legislación urgente para proteger mejor los derechos económicos, sociales y financieros de los trabajadores. Durante la presentación se pusieron en primer plano varios temas que asolaban a los trabajadores de la isla. Sobre la base de la presentación de la Unión, el diputado Von Camper planteó varias preguntas a los representantes de la ICLU para obtener sus opiniones sobre cómo llegar a su proceso de tomar decisiones equilibrando y tangible que beneficie a todas las partes interesadas de manera equitativa y justa, y no que los esfuerzos y acciones realizados o que se tomaran beneficien a un grupo y tengan un efecto negativo en otro. Durante la presentación se hizo una comparación entre la propiedad unipersonal y la propiedad comercial en B, por lo que se mencionó que en el caso de una empresa unipersonal, los fondos generados permanecen en la isla. El diputado Von Camper dijo que está de acuerdo con cierta extensión y preguntó qué ideas tiene la UICLU para el Parlamento o el gobierno que deberían seguir para evitar que los fondos se salgan de la isla, por ejemplo, de las grandes empresas que son propiedad de inversiones extranjeras. El Parlamento dijo que tiene curiosidad por saber cuáles son las opiniones de la UICLO sobre asuntos de inmigración y si los consideran un problema grave en el país. Todos sabemos que la isla sufre de trabajadores indocumentados que mantienen puestos de trabajo que los ciudadanos registrados podrían ocupar. Este problema se está agravando día a día y afecta más a la economía durante estos tiempos difíciles. El diputado Von Camper expresó a los representantes de la UICLO y le preguntó cuál es la posición del sindicato o posible solución a esta creciente preocupación, ya que afecta directamente a su membresía. Que la canasta de alimentos tenga que ampliarse para proteger el mercado de precios es muy desafortunado y debe ser abordado por el gobierno con la mayor urgencia, señaló el diputado Von Camper. Nuestra isla depende de la importancia de bienes en lo que respecta a los alimentos. Parece que el único costo tangible que se puede ajustar para reducir los precios de los alimentos son los costos de personal. El diputado Von Camper admitió que después del paso del huracán Irma, varias organizaciones e individuos recurrieron a cultivar sus propios productos, hornear y cocinar para consumir o vender a terceros para generar ingresos adicionales y evitar enfrentarse a altos precios marcados y, por lo tanto, evitar que los fondos generados localmente vayan al extranjero. El parlamentario declaró que muchas personas vieron la necesidad de abrir su pequeño jardín en su patio e insistió en que necesitamos seguir cultivando nuestros propios productos locales y volver a los días en que nuestros antepasados y padres solían pescar. La pesca, dijo el diputado, es un mercado muy rentable y debe ser explotado.
Yeah. The MP lists a number of challenges that St. Martin is going through. And what he did, very smart, instead of taking on that, and telling them, listen, this is what is happening here, he's asking them, what's your opinion on the immigration policies? What's your opinion on immigration on a whole on St. Martin? The lack of proper immigration checks and balances. Then he goes on to speak about, after Hurricane Irma, how prices have been increasing.
Así es.
And how people took to small little gardening and, to sustain or to supplement whatever food that they have. However, little gardenings is not enough. And he urged people to continue.
Disculpa, y las personas empezaron a hacer cultivo fue para la pandemia. Al estar en las casas, comenzaron a cultivar. Yo fui una de ellas. Empecé a sembrar y a cultivar en el patio, tratando de ocupar el tiempo, pero al tratar de ocupar el tiempo también resultó algo más beneficioso, que ya eran productos que yo no tenía que ir a comprar.
Exactly. So a lot of times, we see these articles and we have to really check inside. And he even spoke about the food, the basket of goods. Do you know what is in that food basket of goods and what this food basket of goods entail? It is of course, an imaginary basket. It's a list of items that is very, very often checked. It's monitored, and that they are very strict with it when it comes to the basic needs and necessity of the human being. So the price of bread, flour, I think eggs, milk, oil. Those are some of the items that are in this food basket. Basic ingredients. And to be quite honest, I think that basket needs to be expanded. Okay? They're supposed to have some kind of fruits, supplementary, maybe vitamins in it. Maybe we should talk to Grisha. MP Grisha Heiligen. But the basket of goods supposed to be expanded. One thing he spoke about, he also spoke about big businesses and these sending their money abroad, which is a very important topic, because if you send your money abroad, yes, you have operating cost and your money to do your personnel and to pay your personnel, to have operating costs for the business. But your savings or the bulk of the money is issued away. So our banking system do not profit from that, I don't know. It's a big problem. It's a challenge that MP Boncamper sees, and he's playing it smart. He's saying, listen, Biklu, you tell me what's the problem, okay? And so that I can relay this to the floor of Parliament. Tell me the workings. What is in your mind, so that I can be your voice. And I think that this is a very healthy way to go about problem solving. So, MP Boncamper, great job. And to the people of Biklu, better job in knowing. All right?
Así es. Bueno, Spring, es tiempo de irnos a una pausa comercial. Así que le solicitamos a todo el que esté en las redes sociales que le den like, compartan, etiqueten y posteen sus banderitas de dónde es su nacionalidad y dónde está residiendo. Estamos en Preston Martin Day en el día de hoy. Así que a todo el que esté en casita, vamos a una pausa comercial. Regresamos en breve.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that we are going on a commercial break. We will return after these few commercial breaks. However, stay locked and tuned in to TVCARIB, The World at 7. Brennan and I will be right back.
When you're in St. Martin, visit the Boardwalk, where you will find the Shell. With its beautiful terrace overlooking the ocean, their vegan specials, delicious mahi-mahi filet with rum-glazed shrimps just for you. Tasty. You can also visit Dirty Sanchez and order a cocktail from their cocktail menu, like the famous mojito made with love. Delicious. And if you're wearing a bikini, you can also get a second mojito for free. Beach chairs are also available. You'll find it all at the Boardwalk.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The World at 7, where we give you news, updates, and really a lot much more. I'm here sitting with Brenda Rodriguez de Allen, and we're just ready to give you some more news. Brenda?
Así es, señores, muy buenos días a todo el que se está sintonizando en casita en este momento. Estamos en la segunda sección de nuestro programa El Mundo a las 7. Y de igual manera a todo el que se está actualizando en las redes sociales. Estamos nosotros aquí. Gracias por mantener su sintonía con El Mundo a las 7. Recordándole darle like, compartir, etiquetear y postear sus banderitas. Recuerden que tenemos nuestro teléfono de estudio 554-5601, donde usted puede llamar para dar los buenos días, llamar para cualquier información. Mira, ahora mismo tenemos en el tope las informaciones del lado francés con los disturbios y los cierres de la frontera. Usted está por ahí, usted puede llamar un momentito, hacer un resumen breve. Y así nosotros estamos informados de lo que está sucediendo. Eso es para las personas que están en la calle ahora mismo, cerca de lo que es la frontera de French-Guata.
Okay, on a different topic, I needed to know, can anyone confirm if Usher and Alicia Keys was on our port last night? I see some stuff.
Sí.
I see some stuff, but this was not advertised. Was it a private concert? Who paid for that? I want to know what's going on. Okay? So no one can confirm this.
No te sabría decir.
Okay. St. Martin Talk, Alicia Keys, Usher, live in private concert at the St. Martin Port tonight. Let me go on Nzinga Lake where it says so. I'm going to just check it.
Yo vi en Singaley en una actividad, pero no sabía que había ningún concierto o algo así por el estilo.
All right.
Ninguna presentación.
Look here.
Sí,
I think this is on a ship.
pero es que no hubo ninguna promoción sobre esto.
I don't think it was something private for the ship owner. I don't know. All right?
Y eso es aquí en San Martín.
I guess. So if anyone can confirm this, I'm going to call Nzinga later on. But if anyone can confirm that this was done in the port of St. Martin, it looks like on the ship because we haven't seen anything advertised. But I think what a missed opportunity, if anything, Alicia Keys.
Yo lo vi anoche, vi su video, pero dije, pero esto no será en San Martín, porque es que no hubo ninguna promoción sobre esto.
Yeah.
Bueno.
Wow.
Mira, tenemos que Fleming Gigi dice que hay 4 huelguistas detenidos por los Yandan.
¿Qué suelistas?
O 4 personas principales de los que están responsables de la huelga.
Oh, okay. So I guess an investigation was done and they picked up 4 suspects of people who are claiming to be or who have ties with the resistance. Okay? Dorette DeWay say good morning everyone and happy St. Martin Day in advance to all.
David Bertré también da los buenos días.
Yes.
Tenemos en sintonía Sonny Lott, San Martín Anunnaki, Melania Lawrence también que está en sintonía con nosotros, Isterida Harchan, Yesenia de la Cruz, Nancy Ramírez, Brian Baker también dando los buenos días, Michael Artsen, ¿quién más, Brin?
Yeah. Brian Baker, he's saying, I saw the live via Nzinga Lake social media. Sunila says, French Quarter temporary stand down. Okay.
¿Tú sabes lo satisfactorio que es de esta revoluciones que se están produciendo especialmente en el área de French Quarter? Es que no ha habido daños físicos.
Yeah.
Es lo mejor. Ha habido respeto a lo físico, es decir, ni los gendarmes, la policía ha arremetido contra los huelguistas, ni los huelguistas han arremetido con lo que es la comunidad o los mismos gendarmes.
Yeah. All right, so Aliga Kane, I said, yes, I late. Oh, my brother, from another mother. Brian Baker said, Nzinga confirmed it in one of her live last night when Usher came on. Janetta Richardson is just saying, good morning all. I want to say good morning to those who are just tuning in. And remember, you too, we're asking to, share this program and tag a friend in this. So please do so that we can have more people coming on and watch The World at 7. Brenda, do we have any more updates or, anything to announce?
No, yo quiero saber qué ha pasado con tu nuevo corte. Ese es el corte de Gucci
Or the Fendi?
o Versace.
All right. What Brenda is alluding to is my latest hairstyle. Brenda, I wanted something different, okay? And yes, I was to go out last night, but I was too tired, so I didn't go anywhere. I'm getting old. Brenda, did that ever happen to you? Like you all prepare, you put your clothes, and you're like, yes, I'm going out. And then you said, let me just rest a bit.
Ay,
And then when you wake up, it's like, oh my God.
Ya es tiempo de que se está acabando la actividad donde voy a ir.
Oh my
me ha pasado,
God,
me ha pasado.
Yeah, that happens to me
Pero
very often.
a veces el cansancio nos... Tú ya imagínate, no estamos en plena juventud, los años no vienen solo.
My. Yes, the years comes with a lot of heartaches and pains, and when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, but wait, I didn't feel like that this morning, Or you go into the car and like, oh, and you have to lift up your leg. Oh my God, it's there's nothing like youth, ladies and gentlemen, that's for sure. Let me just read this from Seymour Nanunaki. Prince, this is such a shame that these protests are making lives difficult to people to get to work, children to get to school, and not to mention the financial losses. Want to protest, get a tent, and sit down at one place, making the intentions known to the state, damaging public property, and holding the state to ransom defeats the cause. Seymour Nanunaki, okay. We're not going to go in a back and forth in this. I think that school children not getting to go to school.
Por lo menos no en el lado en France 4 no hay clases en el día de hoy.
Yeah. Also, when damaging, public property or even private property, it is not cool whatsoever. However, that is what an unrest is. That is what a revolt is. They disturb the normal workings of a society in order to get their point across. Now, this will have a long-term effect, and come at me, whoever you are, but I do believe that if the French side was not such of a social state, so giving benefits here, giving, how do you call it, the CAF, or giving social money, I do think that if they were not so much of that state, you wouldn't see these unrest. It's because a lot of people, if they don't go to work, they will get money, regardless what. So, they can do that. And they don't, and I'm just saying, a lot of people don't have, the country overall at heart. So yes, I think it's wrong, but that is what a protest is. And preventing children from going to school, that's the worst ever. It is bad. And now we're going to read a story that the Dutch side ministers are issuing, or should you say tourism authorities are issuing, that the French side is deemed unsafe to go. So activity will continue to circulate on the Dutch side, whereas it has been halted on the French side temporarily. Okay, you see that word comes again? Temporarily. All right, just like the 12 and a half cut.
Es temporal, pero no hay un tiempo definitivo.
We don't know. Was the concert here? I don't think so. I think so, Soliga K9, and that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. I think it was on one of the ships, so I want to know. Okay. Good morning. Basket of goods sounds nice, but it does not solve anything. Reintroduce the price comparison. That way people get a much better idea where to shop. Well, that is also a good idea. I like that. Janetta Richardson said, LL Cool J haircut. I don't think so. You need to move more. All right. This is such a shame that protests, okay, we read that. Mind more than the body, resting the mind more than the body. What happens if there is a fire and a medical emergency? Very good question, St. Martin Anunnaki. Social assistance has nothing to do with people being inclined to protest. The assistance is provided by the very same taxes paid by the working class. I do so strongly disagree. It's because they have time, because they don't have a value of how they work and get that money.
Yep.
That's they get time in order to protest, and they don't see the value of the money that they're getting. They just look at money that they're getting by means of solving their problem. But if you have to sweat and work for your money, trust me, you're not going to be outside there protesting, because you're going to be like, what? Especially if you're a taxi driver, okay? Are you going to be out there and saying, boy, let me protest? Those tourists, they can wait. No, that is your bread. So you want that the tourists can be flowing inside of the French side, because guess what? Your cousin who have a snack by the Lolos can get an income. You know, this person by a supermarket, your cousin who can get some kind of money. Okay, let's go by this supermarket, buy a drink, the tourists and stuff. So that's not what you do. So I strongly disagree with that. European slave masters poisoning them with stolen ancestral natural resources. Los vehículos ya
pueden circular por French Quarter y la Guardia Nacional está en las calles.
Yeah, and St. Martin Anunnaki is saying, no, free money is changing since COVID. Yes, I do agree with that. So slowly but surely it is changing. But I believe once we're out of the woods with this pandemic, the French will remain. They've created a monster, and it is a monster with very, very far-reaching tentacles. Okay? Brenna, should we go to our news? Minister Utley, the complete chain.
Así es, continuamos con las informaciones y tenemos que el ministro Utley completa la cadena de cuidados agudos. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time. En colaboración con los socios de la cadena de las Marines holandesa, el Departamento de Bomberos, el Departamento de Emergencia de San Martin Medical Center y los servicios de ambulancia pudieron completar la capacitación de la cadena de cuidados agudos, que implicó atención médica para 1 o 2 pacientes. La capacitación práctica se realizó varias veces en diferentes lugares de la isla y se centró en escenarios de una persona que se ahoga, un accidente de tráfico y golpes de calor. La capacitación incluyó el traslado al Departamento de Emergencia de San Martin Medical Center. La capacitación se llevó a cabo bajo la supervisión de los instructores Rudy Berchot, Desiree Grauman y Pierre Bacaer de la Organización Regional de las Ambulancias. Este entrenamiento fue un éxito en parte debido al despliegue de socios de la cadena de servicios de emergencia de San Martin Medical Center, los marinos holandeses, el Royal Netherlands Massachusetts, el Cuerpo de Bomberos de San Martin y el personal de servicios de ambulancia. La colaboración es un componente importante para la cooperación futura de toda la cadena, lo que significa que la cadena es tan fuerte como su eslabón más débil.
All right. In collaboration with chain partners of the Dutch Marines, the Fire Department, St. Martin Medical Center's Emergency Department, and Ambulance Services were able to complete the training acute care chain, which involved medical care for 1 or 2 patients. The practical training was done several times at different locations on the island and focused on scenarios of a drowning person, a traffic accident, and a heat stroke. The training included the transfer to the emergency department at SMMC. The training was conducted under the supervision of the instructor Rudy Verschier, Desiree Groarmans, and Pieter Nel van den Berg of the Regional Ambulance Organization, RAV Brabant MVN, in the Netherlands. This training was success partly due to the deployment of emergency services chain partners from St. Martin Medical Center, the Dutch Marines, the Royal Netherlands Marechaussee, KMAR, the St. Martin Fire Brigade, and ambulance service personnel. The collaboration is an important component for future cooperation in the entire chain, which means that the acute care chain is only as strong as its weakest link. A very good article, and I'm happy to see all these emergency instances are sprucing up and getting training. This is great. This is great. All right, now we come to the new St. Martin tourism official monitor developments on the northern side of the island, and this comes from the St. Martin Island Time.
Así es, los funcionarios de turismo de San Martín monitorean los desarrollos en el lado norte de la isla. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
The Ministry of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport, and Telecommunication Ministry, TIAC, and stakeholders are closely monitoring developments on French St. Martin with respects to the two roadblocks in the residential areas of Sandy Ground and French Quarter. The Minister of TIAC is in close communication with French tourism counterparts with respect to the ongoing situation. The obstacles placed across the motorway in the aforementioned districts at certain locations prevent motorists from the Dutch side of the island to be able to reach their destination on the French side of the island via lowlands transiting through Sandy Ground, and from Belvedere, Dutch Quarter, transiting via French Quarter to Orient Bay and Grand Case. The road connection from Cold Bay via Bellevue to Marigot has access to Grand Case and Orient Bay, and it is open without any hindrance to motorists. Ministry of TIAT would like to ensure that our local community, international travelers, and visitors currently vacationing on St. Martin, and that all tourism business and hospitality services are fully open and unhindered. It is recommended to remain on the Dutch side in order to avoid any inconvenience while vacationing on the island. Minister Lawrence spoke on the importance of tourism for our economic recovery on the island and for our people, and the impact of tourism that positively impact the French side. Minister Lawrence added that we have a social responsibility to enhance the guest experience for local and visitors. Let us work together to resolve this matter, Minister of TIAT, Honorable Roger Lawrence said on Tuesday. I think he's absolutely correct. However, rarely you hear ministers talking and saying, listen, just stay on the Dutch side. And this is one of the times that I think he puts on his big boy pants on and just state the thing like it is and its reality. I have told my uncle, his wife, visiting the island, they wanted to go on the front side, and I'm like, hey, want un rato. Maybe this is not the perfect time to go. They live abroad. We don't know when they'll be returned to the island again.
Perjudica la economía, perjudica el turismo.
Definitely, that's what I'm saying. So they are, the protesters are hampering, whether you call it progress or the economic flow in the front side, on the front side, where shops could have been getting some kind of income due to tourism passing through different bars, restaurants, and what I have you not. The economic flow cannot trickle down if there isn't any entrada, any money coming in. So we will see how this develops, and maybe it breaks them, and the taxi drivers and those that are in the tourism industry rise up and say, listen, enough with this nonsense now. Put pressure on the government because it is affecting us as well. So again, you see a notification from the minister, by extension the Ministry of TIAT, urging all tourists that stay on the Dutch side, okay, for your safety.
Así es, continuamos con las informaciones y tenemos la detención suspendida para sospechosos de Hyacinth. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
Detention suspended for Hyacinth suspects, and this comes from the St. Martin Island Time. Before you read this story, let me just let you know it had nothing to do with the honorable member of Parliament, Hyacinth Richardson. This is just the name that the public prosecutor has given this case.
Gracias, porque tú sabes que también yo estuve pensando, no, este es el nombre, tú sabes que cada investigación tiene un nombre, mayormente son nombres acuáticos, pero este no es un nombre acuático.
No, pero antes tenía nombres de with gems too, with precious stone.
Okay.
You know, the emerald case, the onyx case.
Okay. Y pensé en el miembro del Parlamento, no, este es el nombre especial que tiene esta investigación, no tiene nada en relación que ver con una persona en específico.
Yeah.
Ok, tenemos que la detención ha sido suspendida para 2 agentes de la policía sospechosos de buscar sobornos, abusos de funciones y divulgar información confidencial a un tercero. Sigue siendo sospechosos en esta investigación con nombres claves como Hyacinth. Este caso será manejado por el Tribunal de Primera Instancia en el primer trimestre del 2022. Los oficiales fueron arrestados en los días 30 y 31 de octubre por los detectives nacionales en esta investigación que está en proceso. Los 2 oficiales fueron suspendidos posteriormente de sus puestos por la fuerza de la policía de San Martín. Se anima a cualquier persona con información sobre este caso o cualquier otro que esté dentro de la vista previa de los detectives nacionales ponerse en contacto con los detectives al 721-542-2409. Los detectives nacionales investigan los actos criminales cometidos por funcionarios públicos, incluyendo la policía. La organización lleva a cabo investigaciones sobre corrupción, abuso de poder, favoritismo y mala conducta profesional, entre otras, basadas en hechos y comportamientos relacionados con el gobierno. Las personas o las personas jurídicas que están involucradas o ejecutan tareas públicas. La Oficina Nacional de los Detectives está aquí en East Room.
Yes.
Sí,
yes.
Cerca de donde era antes donde estaba antes Winter Island Bank.
It's very close to there. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think that organization is there right now. The detention has been suspended for 2 police officers suspected of seeking bribes, abuse of function, and divulging confidential information to a third party. They remain suspects in the investigation, condemned Hyacinth. Hyacinth is a flower. Okay, it's also coincidentally the name of one of our parliamentarians, the Honorable Hyacinth Richardson. The case will be handled by the Court of First Instance in the first quarter of 2022. The officers were arrested on October 30th and 31st by the National Detective in Dutch Landsrecherche. In this ongoing investigation, the 2 officers were subsequently suspended from their post by the police force of St. Martin KPSM. Anyone with information about this case or any other that falls within the purview or preview of the National Detective is encouraged to contact the detectives 542-2409. The National Detective Investigations Criminal Acts Committee by public officials, including the police. The organization carries out investigations regarding corruption, abuse of power, favoritism, and professional misconduct, among other based on facts and behaviors related to government, persons, or legal entities that are involved in or execute public tasks. There you have it. We're going to see how this investigation develops, but it is 1 woman, 1 man. Yeah.
Estos están suspendidos ahora mismo de sus acciones laborales por sobornos y abuso de poder, según el comunicado.
Yeah. Brenda, should we go right now to our birthday session? Mr. Director, birthday.
Así es, vamos a nuestro segmento de cumpleañeros en el día de hoy. Estamos en nuestro segmento cumpleañero. Ahí tenemos a Daniel, que está celebrando un año más de vida en el día de hoy. Y no tanto eso, está también celebrando el nacimiento de su bebé, que nació hace poquitas horas. Ahí está Sofía, la pequeñita Sofía, bienvenida al mundo, deseándote muchas bendiciones, que Jehová cubra tu entrada y tu salida. Ahí está la bebé Sofía junto a su padre, que en el día de hoy está celebrando también un año más de vida. También tenemos, ¿a quién más tenemos, señor director? Bueno, tenemos muchas personas que hoy están festejando un año más, como es Paulina Alejandro, Joana Sánchez, Mariluz Rodríguez Martínez, Karen Irene, Yolaida Encarnación, Paula Gordon y Rubio Ureña, que están celebrando un año más de vida en este día. Así que le deseamos muchas bendiciones, mucha salud, mucha prosperidad.
I want to say a pleasant good morning, and not only a good morning, but a happy birthday wishes to Chet Houghton. That's the brother of G Money. Happy birthday to you, Chet. Rosie Caso, happy birthday to you, Rosie. Wow. And Kanisha Hazel, 30 years old. I want to say also happy birthday. Vernon Simeon, on the French side, 71 years old. Debbie Richardson, happy birthday to you, Debbie. All the best. Nathan Hodge, very good basketball player, 27 years old. Happy birthday. Glenis Rodriguez, I believe she's in Anguilla right now. I want to say happy birthday. Karen Irenes, Shernia Duinkerk, happy birthday to you. Shivali Hook, which is the partner of Minister Duran. Happy birthday to you. Vanessa B. James, pleasant good morning and happy birthday. IT Shanna. Dejanay Milton from Dutch Quarter, 21 years old. Happy birthday. Pete Gordon, which is Paula Gordon. Happy birthday to you. And Angelita Marsham Smith, who is my cousin. Happy birthday going out to all the birthday celebrants. Ladies and gentlemen, join us on Extra Time. Can you make it to Extra Time, Brenda? Yes?
Sí, vamos a hacer
all right,
extra time.
good. So we're going to be on Extra Time. However, for those of you who have to go due to commitments and emergencies, we understand. However, join us tomorrow. Not tomorrow, because tomorrow is St. Martin's Day. But join us on Monday again. Friday?
Sí, Friday.
Join us on Friday, because Friday is a weekday. Okay? And we're not civil servants. So join us on Friday, and we will be here. Tan-ka-tan.
Así es, señores, gracias por haber mantenido su sintonía. Los invitamos a que pasen con nosotros a nuestro tiempo extra, y los que no puedan, así que feliz resto del día, disfruten San Martin Day, que será el día de mañana, y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes el próximo viernes con Dios mediante.
When you're in St. Martin, visit the Boardwalk, where you will find the Shell, with its beautiful terrace overlooking the ocean. Their vegan specials, delicious mahi-mahi filet with rum-glazed shrimps just for you. Tasty. You can also visit Dirty Sanchez and order a cocktail from their cocktail menu, like the famous mojito made with love. Delicious. And if you're wearing a bikini, you can also get a second mojito for free. Beach chairs are also available. You'll find it all at the Boardwalk.
Welcome back. Welcome back. No, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what we call Extra Time. Wow. the time goes very fast giving
Sí.
the news, and
Sí.
especially when Brenda talks so much. You know, Brenda, you talk a lot.
Pero aquí la cotorra eres tú.
Yeah, because you talk a lot, okay? People don't know, but you talk a lot. And remember, women talk more than men.
En este caso no se
No,
aplica.
no, no, no.
Aquí el que habla eres tú.
Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We want to go directly straight in extra time and give what is different topics. The number to call is 554-5601. We can discuss a lot of different things, and yes, we can do that right here. So Brenda have the phone in her hand, and we just want to hear from you. Initiate the topic. We know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the closure, or should I, not the closure on the front side, the unrest, the economic impact that it's having on the front side of the island. And mind you, right now, it's affecting the front side. But just now, you know, it's going to leak out there and say, listen, don't they say one island? Don't they say one nation under God? Don't they say the friendly island, St. Martin? All right? Do you think that when people think out there, oh, it's an unrest going on, they say, oh, no, don't worry, it's the front side of the island? But absolutely not. So just now, we're going to see if this continues, that it will hamper what is going on here on the Dutch side as well. Who knows, a travel advisory may be placed against St. Martin, which we don't want that. So let's not say that it's a front side thing. You know, it's a front side problem. Absolutely not.
No.
One island,
No.
one people, one nation.
En este caso, sí se practica lo que es una isla, una persona, una tierra. Así que esto no es solamente el lado francés, sino le afecta también al lado holandés y su economía. Hay un comentario de San Martín Anunaga que dice, Prince, Herman Martina, todas las mujeres hablan mucho. No me gustó la forma porque lo generalizó. No todas las mujeres hablan mucho. En mi caso, yo no hablo mucho.
What?
Yo soy tranquila. Dime, Prince.
Brenda, maybe the people don't know you, but you talk a lot. All right. For those
No.
of you who know Brenda, can you please confirm?
Saben que yo no hablo mucho.
All right. All right. Okay.
No te van a decir lo contrario.
Surila say, you think you in the government about Monday? No, I don't think so. Okay. All women talk a lot, and St. Martin Anunnaki confirms this. Okay. Brenda, we have at least one topic to discuss. We also have the topic of the food prices that I would like to touch on. The Honorable Boncamper touched on that, and I would like to touch on that as well. You know, the food prices, the basket of goods, which is good, but Dave Livingstone is presenting an alternative. What about a price comparison of, you know, when you go to shop, do you only go to one place? No. You say, all right, I can get bread.
No, yo tengo que ir a dos lugares.
At two places, right? Because one place gives you, you know, maybe the Clorox is $1 cheaper. Maybe,
No. Yo voy a dos lugares porque al que voy, definitivamente el principal, siempre tienen algo que no está en mi lista normalmente. Entonces lo que hago cuando termino, paso al frente, que si lo tienen, lo compro y me voy. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, you're talking about those supermarkets, los altos.
No.
Las
No voy.
cosas caché que
No,
tú compras.
tampoco. Voy al normal donde todos van aquí en la isla. Soy una persona normal, corriente como todos. Es decir, que no ando buscando, no soy poppy.
Yeah. I'm asking you, the general public, you know, when you shop, of course you shop at different places, you know, what do? You can mention it here. I do think, and I know that you would like
Tú sabes
a
que yo he
list.
visto personas, disculpa, que andan con todas las promociones y anotan, ok, en este supermercado voy a comprar esto porque está más barato que en este y en este, pero entonces
inclúyale el tiempo, el combustible. Viene siendo lo mismo, Prince.
But Brenda, in these economic times, you know, we can't look at that and say, yeah, the time that taken to do that. She's alluding to there's different promotion, you know, those leaflets that you get, and there's some people take their time and said, okay, this is what I need. Hey, I can get this at Sunny Food. I'm just going to call a name. Oh, this one I can get at Grand Marché. It's 20 cents cheaper. Hey, this one I can get at Econo Supermarket. Oh, this one I can get at Samuel Bakery
Econo.
in, you like Econo, huh? Samuel Bakery in Mid-Region, you know? And so the list goes on. And she's saying, yes, the time and the energy and the gas prices, right? Yes. But do you know that sometimes these supermarkets overdoes it to the extent? Let me give you an example. I went and I bought a pack of cup of soup. Okay? Do you know those noodles? You throw water in them. You don't like them? You know what you can do? Listen, you can always embellish them. Brenda, trust me. Listen to what I do. I'm going to explain you the story after.
Okay.
But you can put the water in, right?
Hot water.
The
sí.
hot water. When
Yo
it's
sé
ready,
cómo prepararla.
I know,
no.
but listen to me. And when it's done, you chop some onions, you chop some sweet pepper and everything. Maybe a meat that you like, some chicken, okay, or some beef. You season it a little bit, and then you know, throw some seasoning, and then you mix it all up. Oh my God. You don't
See?
want a better meal. Trust me. Trust me. Okay? All right. So I went to this supermarket and I bought a pack that had 30 in it. And it was for $13.95. $13.95 for 30.
Wow.
So I went back the other day and they did not have the pack of 30. They had the pack of 24. But it still had the price,
The same price.
$13.95.
Ah, entonces se equivocaron.
No, because I brought it to their attention and I said, listen, I bought this the other day and now it has 6 less in the pack and it is the same price. They went, they grabbed a manager, and then they went and they grabbed a manager, and then they come. The final thing that they told me, oh, it could be so, because, you know, we get these things from different suppliers.
Entonces los distribuidores tienen diferentes precios. Los diferentes distribuidores.
Which I could agree. However, coincidentally, the markup on that product of 24 is equivalent to $13.95, just like the markup from the other distributor who's selling it for $13.95. Don't give me that hogwash. All right? So I was very upset. However, who are you going to complain to? What are you going to do? Can you call the police, the authorities, or anything? No. Can you call price control? Who are you going to complain to? Okay? These are the things that I think that we need better representative. Okay? So yes, we need a list. Tell me, how do you think about the whole situation? Tell me what you think about my story. 554-5601. Just like yesterday and just like the day before. If we don't get people calling in and chiming in on this conversation, we can close extra time.
Prince, no sea tan drástico.
I'm serious. If I am not going to sit here, extra time is meant for us to have a conversation. Okay? So if there's no one giving any input, then it's best that we close out. Let's see some of the
Es
comments.
una realidad. Estamos aquí para poder interactuar con ustedes, pero si ustedes no lo hacen, entonces no vale la pena que estemos aquí sentados.
Yeah. Android car charger locally $19.99. Okay, Amazon $6.99 plus 10% freight. Do the math. 8% special. All right. A pleasant good morning, Cedric Ortega. Thank you for bailing me
Good
out.
morning. I was listening to your story,
Yeah.
and it is so multidimensional. I was so captivated from your cooking to your actual social consciousness in the supermarket. It's beautiful. I was listening, but again, as I stated yesterday, our premature step into this new structure that we're experiencing now. These instruments were not properly put in place.
Yeah.
Okay, let's face that reality. We have a very large consumer-based economy, but we don't have the instruments in place to control these things.
Yeah.
We do not have the logistics required. We do not have the IT required. So, as a good business, you want to take advantage of these opportunities. Now, it's twofold and threefold and fivefold. Products are shipped in. Shipping prices continue to go up. You have distributors who are engaged in a commercial activity trying to make a profit as best they can. And at the end of the day, based on Reagan's concept of trickle-down economics, the trickle-up prices also for the hands of the consumer. So until we fundamentally revamp how we're doing things, when the consumer and the population become more important than capital gains, then we will start to see these type of situations actually being addressed. Right now, we are in a wild west. Since 2010, we have taken on responsibilities that we cannot handle. Let's be honest, how much inspectors do we have? How are they equipped? You know what I mean? Can they walk into a supermarket, scan the products, walk to the next supermarket, scan the products, you know? And by the time they have lunchtime, they scan 15 supermarkets. By the time they reach in the office, the information is automatically processed because it is connected to IT. And they could see where the abuse is happening. They know shipping. Logistics allows you to be able to make impact on these situations. Collecting statistics and telling us a year after that the inflation went up is
counterproductive. It's counterproductive. I don't want to know a year ago that I spent $100 too much or $200 too much. I want to know now. How can I save that?
We feel it in our pockets. So we have a tool to our disposal. Since the advent of social media, it has given the consumer and the public a lot more power if they use it adequately. And this is one of the platforms that are addressing these issues, bringing them to light, and you can see that the common man feeling that pinch every day. Like you were talking about, there are some people who will go that extra mile to go to different supermarkets and at the end of the day maybe save $20, but that same $20 going back into gas. Now suppose this person is somebody who makes at least $60, $70 an hour, consuming 3 hours doing shopping, that's a lot of money that they just wasted that they could have been productive. So I understand Brenda's point also. So it's like a rock in a hard place, a catch-22 type of situation. You can save $1 and lose 100, or know that you're being cheated when you're in these supermarkets. No, physically know that you're being cheated.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though. What's your opinion on the basket of goods? Of course, we know it needs to be revamped. It needs to be broadened. But what's your opinion? What's your what's your opinion on it?
You would have to give me some more information. Basket of goods.
The basket of goods is basically the things that are necessary that they claim in our diet. Okay, what the
No,
government.
stop. From the onset, that made no sense. When you are going to look at inflation, you got to take in rent into consideration. You got to take gas prices into consideration. Basket of goods is a that there is one of these inventions by economics to pull a blind over people's eyes. You want to talk about a basket of goods? Let's look at what it costs to rent a place. What is your average cost for rent, utilities, internet, because that's no longer a luxury? Put that on the table and then realize that if you don't have at least $1,500, you ain't going nowhere. A big basket of goods. You tell me the price of sugar, those things are stable. You know why? Because they are heavily subsidized by governments.
Yeah.
So they don't move much. So that's a ruse. Any economist telling you they're going to look at sugar, flour, milk, that's a ruse. Those industries are heavily subsidized. That's why the prices usually stay rather flat. Sugar don't increase.
Yeah.
Flour don't really increase. Butter don't increase. Milk don't increase. These are heavily subsidized industries by government, EU, the United States. That's why they shut down other markets, eggs. These are all staple products that are heavily subsidized by government. So the prices are stable. But look at housing prices. Look at car prices.
It's
look at
ridiculous.
these are utilities. In our system, Martin, we are rated one of the highest cost for utilities in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Just what I can say that there's confirmation to your statement. Look at when we were in the heart of the pandemic. We had a food voucher galore. We had Red Cross coming in. We had even the Dutch government making that, food, the main focus. But people, I didn't hear anybody subsidizing the rent or even government going to the landlords and saying, hey, listen, we are going to put in. So you are so correct in your analysis.
You heard what the Minister of Finance said at the time? He asked the landlords to cooperate with the people. Now, everybody went up in arms because we know that what that means for a single woman.
Yeah.
We understand what that means for a single woman to have to cooperate with her landlord. So we were all up in arms about that. But that is where the real issues lie.
Yeah.
That is the rules played by systems of government all over the world. They keep us, yet the bread prices ain't rising so much. That 25 cents extra more. But the housing costs, what about utilities?
Which is a chunk in our in our income, huh? That's a chunk.
That is first. You need a place to live. You need water. You need electricity before you can put food in the house.
Yeah. Let me read a comment from Dorette DeWay. Prince, I talk about the cost of living all the time. There is no price control on the island. The minimum wage is so low. Some parents, seniors, and others are suffering from these hikes in prices. To be quite honest, the container fees are astronomical right now. Yes. But because, if it was just because of this pandemic, I could leave it rest. But price has been astronomical on St. Martin from ever since. Curacao, who have import duties, okay? Import duties.
Shopping.
You can go in Curacao and buy and go with 100 gills, 200 gills, right? And shop.
Fully gross. And shop and be comfortable.
St. Martin, where there is no import duties, and you would think that, hey, you know what? These prices can be different. But I think we live in a paradox world, Swaliga. Why we live in a paradox world? Because come to alcohol and cigarettes, guess what? It's cheap. Okay? Come to sweets, come to soda, it's cheap. But when we need a fruit, when we need a vegetable, it's expensive. Okay?
Now, can I segue into one of the main aspects of any country is its ability to feed itself. We went into 10-10-10, and there isn't a ministry of agriculture, one that is going to create a fund and stimulate agriculture by making the market more accessible, by investing in the necessary equipment, investing in its necessary scientific and technical aspects of this area. If we can't produce basic products to sustain ourselves, we are not thinking about a country. And there are different ways to get our resources that we need locally. And there is thinking outside the box where it's concerned. I am somebody who always thinking, so I'm talking to different people, but I'm not going to divulge that. But if we do not and cannot feed ourselves to some extent, if we do not have a product that we could trade on other markets to bring certain prices down, because if you look good, when you see a president go to another country, they don't exchange dollars.
No.
They go and they say, you're going to reduce the taxes on Harley Davidson and we're going to buy 100,000 more kilos of sugar from you.
Yes.
They trade, the governments trade the products that are developed on their island.
And we
don't have not one. We don't have
or their resources. Or their resources.
Exactly.
Because guess what? Guess what? Guyana just went to Barbados, and Barbados now is doing training for hospitality training. Okay, for how much Guyanese students? But guess what? With the intention, Guyana has struck oil. So just now, Guyana is going to be, experiencing some economic influx, okay, due to the discovering of oil. So the hospitality, the Hospitality Trade Association and the hotels and everything will get some more people. But guess what? Barbados is already leading in that. So let's train them in Barbados, a next CARICOM country. All right? Exactly. And then what would happen? Boom! Barbados would benefit from probably cutbacks or anything like that. That's how you run a country. Okay? In our small industry, Swaliga, and tell me if I'm correct here. The one little industry that we had was salt. Okay? Oh, it wasn't profitable. How do you mean it wasn't profitable? Up to today, Bonaire is developing salt. Up to today. Okay? What is so wrong in having our tourism and also putting attention on our salt factory? Huh? What is so wrong?
I'm sorry to say, but since the salt pond doesn't actually contain any more salt, and the whole ecosystem of that environment has changed. Instead of crabs and mollusks, there is bass and snooks and turtles. So it's no longer a salt pond. It's a brackish water environment because of different water sources. The sewage plant, the refined water goes in there. So it's primarily fresh water now. It's an outlet to the sea and no longer really an inlet. So that industry, that historical industry that we had, that does not exist anymore, and that will not be something of our future. That ecosystem is there. But you're highlighting the exact same point. If we don't have nothing to trade on an international market, if we don't have the basics in our local supermarkets or in our supermarkets, that we know the price is going to remain fixed or low, certain basic products. If we don't have that, when fish hit the fan, we going to be in a serious conundrum. The price is going to continue to rise. The price is rising faster than we can actually get financial increases. We saw the necessity for food baskets. People making money. That means people walking.
Yes.
Those food baskets and those vouchers actually made an impact, because groceries, listen, people, $600 for a 2-week shopping is something that's almost normal. Now, a lot of people can't afford it, but if you would do an average shopping for a family of 4 or 5, you book $600-700.
Yeah.
How much people can actually afford that? So that means how much families are actually being underfed, malnutrition, eating ramen noodles.
Yeah, the same ramen noodles that I buy there.
Yeah.
And listen,
Yeah,
and they want to increase on that too.
Come on.
Yeah. Let's read a comment. Let's read a comment from Jax Hamescat. Do we hear any talks of creating another economic revenue? Do we hear about national investments, agriculture, export? To your point exactly. That is for the people, or are solely focusing on something that has proven to be insufficient for our growth as a state? Your point exactly. You know.
You see, that's a nail on the head.
Yeah.
How can you develop a country? How can you start a country without thinking about these things? Listen, once come to shop, right? St. Martin isolated for 2 months. We can't get nothing in or out. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this, folks? So we're not even allowed a pellet gun to hunt iguanas that are rampant, that don't have no natural predators. We can't even hunt them with pellet guns, because if we have one of those, we're committing some crime. Like, completely no ability to self-sustain. None. The last pandemic, we see people start panicking, everybody started planting. There's a small nucleus of that still exists, but no national scale, no actual investment in developing the industry to at least be able to say, you know what? We are going to supply 30% of our base products. So let's say just lettuce, tomatoes, sweet peppers, we could use those because we have a big restaurant industry. We could put them in the supermarkets. Let's start with that on an industrial scale. Nothing from that coming out in the planning where we were setting up countries in market. So all we thinking about is putting down new buildings, new structures, and then at a certain point I'm asking for who to go in them.
Exactly, but apparently that formula has been working for those people, because they continue to
It's a quick scheme, Prince.
It continued
to
land
and building puts money in people's pocket via many means.
Yeah.
Many means. Okay? But it is a get-rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
These are not long-term investment, thinking about the future. You're not thinking about developing industry, the kind of industry that will really create work. If you develop an agriculture park, you're developing transportation lines. People need to study. They need a laboratory to analyze the dirt, to analyze the food. You need a cutting barometer. So now people need to go and study. You need certain experts in agriculture to study to analyze the dirt. And so we got now we starting to see all the level of industry. You have the people actually there doing the work. Now those are now farmers. When you're thinking of your country, you gotta think of I need to develop one thing that will have a spin-off of 7, 8, 9 different industries.
Basin who are doing agriculture, who doing different stuff, industry. We have the Dominican Republic, who is very, very innovative when it comes to factories. Panama. And what are we doing? We're sitting on our tails and looking to The Hague in some kind of relief. This is nation building. We didn't do it in the initiation of 10-10-10, but still we're sitting on our derrieres instead of trying to catch up to time. And this is what I'm talking about. So it is high time, ladies and gentlemen. It is high time. And to those of you who are listening and have the power to, spark and trigger a spark or so, and to get the ball rolling, I'm talking about the MP Bunk Campers. I'm talking about the Rayon Petersons. I'm talking about those that, have some kind of semblance of hope for the people. Agrisha Martin Heiligen, despite we can disagree on it, yes or no, I think that she's been beating that tune too long for it to be fake right now. So it have to be that she have a heart for the seniors. It have to be that she wants vitamins for the seniors. It have to be that she wants relief for the seniors and stuff, because she's been beating that tune way too long and way before election. So I'm saying, get it done by all means necessary. And instead of us creating a pum pum factory, right, or a tun tun factory, let us create real factories that can fill our bellies and not our mouths, if all you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Cedric, thank you for calling in and basically being a part of the show. I see Simar Anunnaki is saying, hey, has the the cuffs started already, cuffs off? And I'm like, oh, no, this is a different show. But we have some similarities because these are the quails of the people, all right?
Yes, indeed. But it's always a pleasure. And again, with regards to my evolution in a podcast, Prince, thank you.
No.
It is completely dedicated to you and Andrew that I was brave enough to take this step and really start to talk about issues that affect us. In the news show, it's compact. We hit the bullet points, but in off the cuff, we could slow it down. We could dig into the minds of our leaders and the community to see where we need to go. And you see, as soon as you touch this button, the reaction and how people react into this, because it's like we all seeing it, we all recognize it. So it's about time something be done. I mean, we can't continue putting buildings all up in the hills and then with projects stopping halfway, and it's. But again, our government and our country is young, so I just say that from the next side. We couldn't foresee everything, like I mentioned yesterday. So when we see these things, let's address them. It doesn't mean that people don't care. It's that the inability to see everything. So when they come up, let's address them. But our government right now is busy putting out too many fires, dealing with scandals and corruption.
Same thing.
So actually,
I said the same thing.
That's what's and honestly, people think I don't like the MP. I love my PM. I went head to head with regards to COVID, but I am one of those male chauvinists that don't like you touching my women. Them especially at certain levels, they should be not mentioned. So I find it very unfortunate that she's being put in this position. It was a great chance for a younger generation to shine and be that rising star, take us out of this. The phoenix. I would want to see that fairy tale, but unfortunately,
it did not unfold.
The devil branches blessing to actually lead the country, and that's that.
All right, good. Cedric, thank you so much for being a part of this show, as always, and we look forward to many more extra times together, and of course, many more off the cuffs. Bear in mind that Saturday 11, they have the Honorable MP Bunk Camper. It is Cedric Ortega with Praveen. They're going to be telling you, or they're going to be giving you their side of the story, basically, which is the side of the people, I believe, all right? Off the cuff. Now we come back to the World at 7 extra time, Brenda, and I want to say to each and every one of you, happy St. Martin's Day when it comes, and to those of you who are going to celebrate, remember, we're still in a pandemic. Be safe out there and don't overdo it. Don't drink and drive. And if you have to drive, don't drink, and vice versa. It will be a day of celebration. It will be a day of fun. I don't know what they're going to do, but make sure that you spend time with the family. Can we get our next call before we close? Hello, good morning.
Mr. Prince, good day from Bay.
Is this the Mighty Hammer?
Yes, see.
Bong.
Mighty Hammer.
Mr. Burkle, a pleasant good morning to you and happy pre-Sematin Day. Happy Sematin Day when it comes.
Babo tabi.
Bong. Masya danki mene.
Enyaw pasabong.
Bong.
Bandiya sa Glenda tabi.
Brenda, buen día, pa.
Buenos días, ¿cómo está?
Bien, iti.
Bien, gracias a Dios.
All right.
Mi mirar televisión.
Bendición. The Mighty Hammer, Mr. Burkle. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. That's the famous Mr. Burkle, the Mighty Hammer. But as I was saying, happy St. Martin's Day when it comes. Make sure be safe. We're still in a pandemic. And if you have family on the friend side and want to go there, please be very, very careful.
Así es, señores, gracias por haber estado con nosotros hasta esta hora de la mañana. Le deseamos un feliz día de San Martín, que piense bien dónde usted va a estar, con quién va a estar celebrando, cuídese mucho, use su mascarilla y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes el próximo viernes con Dios mediante. Si usted maneja, no beba, o si usted vaya a beber, no maneje. Cuídese.